Among the vastness of video game franchises, there are two that are, I'd say, similar yet different. After all, both involve a furry as protagonist with the color blue to represent them. I'm talking about Sonic the Hedgehog and Sly Cooper. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I would make a video game about them, or at least an idea of a video game. I'll start with Sly Cooper, since it's the one I know the least about, so bear with me. The story begins with the Cooper gang in the present, discovering that not only Penelope escaped, but also the Paradox and the Gris. And with the pages of the Theseus Raccoonus of the ancient Egypt disappearing, they decide to travel to that time. There, they encounter Sly and help him stop the Paradox from stealing the Cooper cane. After that, they leave him behind, and a shadowy bird figure appears before the Paradox disappears. Then they discover that Leparox somehow went back to the present and to his prison. Discovering that someone else is trying to alter the timeline, Sly, Bentley, Murray, and Carmelita travel to another point in time to see if there is a trace of something going on. It is here that they encounter Arpeggio, with whom they have an actual boss fight. Arpeggio this time is more interested in solving his smaller issues, trying to obtain the perfect body for his perfect mind. After being defeated, he sees in the distance a mechanical bird flying in the sky, and then is taken back to his own time, where he decides that the best body is Clockwork's body. From this point onward, I want each and every battle that comes to be kind of a rival battle for one of the protagonists, as well as representative of one of the previous games. So, representing Sly Thieves in Time, it's Murray versus the Gris. The Gris is frustrated after Murray beat him to ice skating, so he wants to even the playing field. Murray accepts, beats the Gris, and the Gris takes it with stride. But before he can reveal who's behind everything, he is sent back to his original time. After traveling once again in time and representing Sly 2, Band of Thieves, it's Nila who has her boss fight against Carmelita. She is frustrated that the Cooper gang and Carmelita joined forces to defeat her, so she wants to prove that she is superior to them by defeating them one by one. This doesn't work, but before Carmelita can arrest her, a bird crashes into the site, showing Nila the power of clockwork before she is sent back to her own time. They travel in time once again and they encounter the mastermind, Penelope. Bentley lets her explain herself this time, and Penelope explains that she thinks the Cooper gang has restrained Bentley long enough. Bentley instead wants to show her that the Cooper gang made him stronger. So they have a tussle, Bentley wins, and Penelope realizes the error of her ways. But someone is missing. A final member of Penelope's group is not happy with this outcome, as there's someone that needs to pay the price. Representing Sly 1, Clockwork. So Sly, Bentley, Murray, Carmelita, and Penelope have to join forces to stop Clockwork. And after this victory, the player is given a choice. Either leave Clockwork be, knowing that in the timeline Clockwork is defeated once and for all later, or end him here and now, altering the timeline and, to some extent, rebooting the series. Since I have the Sonic game better established in my head, I'll go in a different manner about it. Talking about the characters, how I imagine they would play out, and let's face it, if I tell one character, everyone will know what story I'm going for. For 6 out of the 9 playable characters I thought of, I decided to use a system where I chose the ones who were at least playable in 3 out of 4 adventure-like games, I'd call them. These are the games where they go through multiple stories, or, which tell various points of view or alternate timelines, let's say, until everything culminates in a last story. These games are Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, and Sonic 06. Now, the first 3 characters are playable in all 4 games. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, the Sonic team. Now, originally, I was going to make the game out 7 playable characters, so I was going to implement it with something akin to the weapon system in Sonic Forces. However, then I decided to include other 2 characters. Still, I don't want that system to go to waste. To keep things simple, I'll try to go only about the character and their weapon. So first off, Sonic has the Lightning Wisp, and it gives him the whip. So it would be akin to the Energy Beam from Sonic Boom. But gameplay wise, it would be more like the Warhawk from Sonic Unleashed. As for Tails, he would have the Burst Weapon and, as you might guess, the Flamethrower. Knuckles is the simplest one of all. He'll have the Drill Wisp and he'll basically have the Dash with Drill. The one he had in Sonic Frontiers, the Final Horizon, but more as a charged attack than a dash. The next 3 playable characters are Amy, Shadow, and Rouge, playable in 3 out of 4 of the games already mentioned. Amy would have the Cube Wisp, which basically works like in Sonic Colors. It can turn enemies into rings and change blue blocks obstructing the way into rings, or vice versa, to traverse other areas. Shadow would have Void, to obtain objects through walls. And Rouge would have Hover. Now she would be the most creative one, as she would practically use it as some sort of detective mode of Batman in the Lego Batman games, or as a shockwave attack in battle. As for the other 3 characters, only one has been playable before, Eggman, though his playstyle's more like the Halberd from Kirby Planet Robot. As for the other 2, the first I decided to include is a newcomer, Sally Acorn from the Archie comics and the Sonic Side AM TV series. As for her wisp, I decided to give her Asteroid, which she would use to solve puzzles or like Sora's team attacks in Kingdom Hearts, to include the other Freedom Fighters as cameos. The last one is another newcomer, and let's face it, is the one who will spoil the story. It's Cosmo, who will spend most of her time on the Cyclone alongside Tails. Now, those who know Cosmo know that this is the Metarex story. Now, originally, I was going to simply make the story and put Sally instead of Chris. But after seeing a video of the game apologists talking about Sally, I gained some newfound respect for the chipmunk. So I decided to start the whole story from though. I only have the first world, Sonic's world, also known as the Earth, and the beginning of the next world, Aquarium Park from Sonic Colors. If you want to include more or help me with this idea, I'd be grateful. Now, since this Sonic game is based on the Metarex saga, it means that Dark Super Sonic is going to appear. Though in this case I'm going to treat him more like a false Super Sonic created by the false Emeralds, created by the Metarex. In this case, gameplay wise, he'll be the Super Sonic of Sonic Forces or Sonic Lost World, leaving the real Super Sonic, the one of the real Chaos Emeralds, as final boss mode. Thanks for watching this video. There's a like button, the dislike button, and if you want you can subscribe while ringing the bell. If you have any constructive criticism, there's a comment section. And remember, baseless flattery and destructive criticism will get you nowhere. On my part, I'll wait and see when I'll get cancelled. After all, we're all getting cancelled someday.